That we were talking about. I broke into a cheese shop one night. I was at a bar. I was 19 years old, guys. I still had the bug. In those days, you know how some people drink and do stupid things?
Of course.
I would drink and steal.
Right.
I would go crazy.
Now, could you do it sober, or did you have to have a drink in you? You know what I mean? Like
I would be home for a week and a half.
Yeah.
And to unbreak the homesickness. Like, I've broken all these things down in my head. You know, like I was addicted not to drugs at that time.
Right.
Excuse me, I was a reefer head at that time. When I moved to Colorado the first time, I understood what it was to be a real hippie. It's not those guys with the long hair that stink. It's an attitude. These guys were laid back.
Nothing bothered.
I never understood what laid back was.
Yes.
Until I went to Snowmass Village the first time in 1983. It really. So I was telling these guys that one night I had this bedroom. Like, when I got to Basalt, I moved into a room that had belonged to somebody else that he had to go home because there was an emergency in his family. So all I did when I got there was take the sheets off, flip over the mattress, wash the sheets, and they were mine. That had become my bed. So when we moved out of there, the kid came back and took all his stuff. So the apartment I got with my buddy basically had nothing. I mean, nothing. When we moved in there was a black and white TV, a table, an oak table with a fucking milk crate under it, a couch that stunk, and there was nothing. And the rooms were nothing. So I put like a fucking mat down, and I put a sheet over it, and I slept like a fucking Indian, like just on the floor, like Bruce Lee in Fist of Fury, under a tent and shit, like in your room. And the apartment was clean. It was fucking tremendous. The paint, I mean, it was Creekside Apartments, I think, at the time. And they were fucking pretty much new, you know. And his brother, my roommate's brother, also from my neighborhood, was a carpenter on a job site that was the biggest building in Snowmass Village at the time. It looked like a battleship. That's what people called it. They built a fucking battleship up there. So one day I went to meet him, and I go, I thought these things were being built, but they had already a condo that had the furniture, the flowers, the towels, the fucking bath mats, something out of a fucking magazine cover.
Like a model home,
Like a model home. Nice. So I go in there and I see this shit.
Like an IKEA display.
Yeah, and I go home. I tell Jim, Jimmy, I saw something very interesting today. He goes, what? I go, you know the way your brother works? They got apartments that fucking got furniture. He goes, Joey, we can't do that. I go, listen, you don't have to do nothing. Let me go snoop around.
Yeah.
And on a Sunday night, I went up there. The door was open.
Damn.
Like the realtor left the door open.
Jesus.
I went in, put the light on. I took everything I could. I put it in a circle, including a mattress and a fucking box spring. And I made 3 or 4 climbs. Today, I could never do it.
No.
And I did it between 9 and like 2 in the morning.
Wow.
With fucking wheelbarrows. And then he finally got up. He was drunk. He finally got up. And he helped me carry like
and
2
loads.
Woke
up. None of that shit.
Nothing. There was nobody in the building. There was no construction.
Yeah.
And they didn't go like apartment to apartment looking?
No. They didn't know. And I went into the fucking one room, and it was all the tools. And Jimmy's like, let's rob tools. And I'll never forget, he got like a bar and stuck it in and put his feet up against the thing. And he started pulling back, and it just broke, and he landed on his back. He's like, ugh. But we went and furnished our whole apartment. We went from fucking 0 to 100 towels, bath mats.
From an airbed to a full display of everything.
Oh my God, we had everything, a new couch. And finally, the brother knocked on the door, and then he goes, hey, what's going on? He goes, tell me it wasn't you guys. And he came in and started laughing. He goes, trust me, I was thinking of doing it. He goes, throw me the lamp and I won't say nothing. And that was the end of that. We had all this new furniture.
That's kind of on them to build an apartment, not have it be completed, and furnish it empty. That you're asking for that to fucking happen.
And no security with Joey Diaz around in 1983. You're crazy.
Come on.
You couldn't leave. I was in the heyday of my heyday.
What year is it?
It's 83. I'm 20 years old. I'm living in D12, the bottom of the something apartments. D is the 4th building.
Uh-huh.
It's my friend, me and Jimmy Burkle. And I'm not making a bad living. I'm not living the life of Riley, but I got a job. I'm taking classes at night, and I got my eyes open. And that's the type of town that if you just have your eyes open,
yeah,
you're going to pick up $1,000 a week by mistake because nobody's paying attention.
Right.
So you'll pick up a purse, you'll pick up a wallet, You'll pick a car's. I mean, it was fucking crazy. I cannot describe it. But, you know, at that time I was living 24/7, which means nobody got a break. When I was 19, when I left Jersey the first time, nobody got a break.
What do you mean nobody got a break?
Nobody got a break, okay. So I get up in the morning. I probably got $30 on me. I got 2 5s, 10 singles, and a 10. All right. I would hitchhike down the hill. If I could hitchhike to work, I would hitchhike to work. If not, I'd take the bus. But guess what? I wasn't paying the bus. I was going to get it on the back and fucking walk off on the back.
Right.
And then I would get to work, and I'd work for 8 hours at work, and you and Lee brought lunches. I'd take Lee's sandwich and your soda. You know, I was just a fucking miserable fuck until I didn't give a fuck because I knew I was going to keep this job. So I'm just eating that fucking sandwich. Sometimes I'd throw it away. One time when I first
taking your sandwich, Luke.
I listen at Masback Century Hard when I first quit. Listen to me, though. Here's the crazy thing. When I quit high school, I quit to go to Masback Century Hardware. And one day I was downstairs in the fucking, I was a warehouseman. And something happened. I go, break time. And I go, listen, I don't want to take a break. And I go, Joey, you can't do this. You have to go to the break room. And I went to the break room, and I'm sitting there. It's a true story, guys. I'm 17. I'm stupid. But I don't give a fuck. I probably had $2 in my pocket. I go upstairs. I'm sitting there, and I go, what the fuck am I doing up here? And they got like, in those days, they didn't have microwave sodas, like that. But there was a refrigerator. And there was all these brown lunches, right? Like, and I saw one, and I just took this motherfucker out, and I opened it up, and God forbid, good googly moogly.
It was that dude's kosher meal.
No, it was like a fucking, like a Philly cheesesteak wrapped, like he had bought it at a store.
Yeah.
So it didn't belong to nobody. So I'm like, maybe.
What do you mean he bought it from a
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't, like, maybe, like, on Tuesdays they order from fucking Johnny's.
Yeah.
And this was this is for everybody. But it's like 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'm up there, and I'm looking. This is a true story, Josh Wolf, okay? And you know me and you, we go back a long time. I forgot about this one. And all of a sudden, I go up, and I take the thing out. And it's the first thing I take out. It was still even kind of warm. And I fucking take it out. I'm eating this Bible. It's got a yoo-hoo in there. It was me. There was a napkin and shit.
There was a note.
Yeah, a note from the mom.
No, there was like a napkin. And all of a sudden, do you know that
God, Joey.
I'm sitting there and I finished wiping my hand. And thank God I've always been a gentleman. I wiped the table and I threw the stuff in the garbage and then I wiped it again. And at that time, I wasn't friends with nobody. Like, I had just been there for maybe 3 weeks. I didn't know nothing. But I still had another 15 minutes upstairs. So I just went and washed my hands and I went by the window and just looked outside. And all of a sudden, I'm looking out this window, Joshua. And I hear like 3 people come in by me. They got nothing to do with me, so I don't look.
Right.
And they're talking. And who you got tonight? I got the Steelers, you know. And all of a sudden I hear, all right, let's do this. And I hear, what the fuck? Listen to me. And that's when I turn around. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So he goes, God damn it. Somebody's now this guy at this time, bro, I'm a little on the crazy side. My mom's been dead 2 years. I think I want to be a gangster, you know. But let's face it, I wasn't going up against this. This dude was 5'11", yoked, black, you know, angry, and now somebody took his
food,
fucking food. He took the fucking door, and when he slammed it, it just landed in his hand. Now, if Lee would have slammed the door and it would have landed in his hand, Lee would have just dropped it.
Yeah.
This guy held the door in his hand. He's like, who took my motherfucking sandwich? Who the fuck took my sandwich? And I started shitting. I was like, I better not have an onion on my teeth and shit. Oh, my God. He fucking slammed the door. He fucking went through all the fucking sandwiches in there. He ran downstairs. Who the fuck took my sandwich? Who the fuck came up here? And I'm right there like 20 minutes, and he looked at me. Who the fuck? You see anybody? I go, no. I just got here. I didn't even know what was going on up here. This is the first time I've been up here.
I don't even know why I'm up here.
Yeah, I don't even know what's happening
dog,
here.
I ran out of there, and I was like, oh, shit. That's where you put your food. When you know, in those days, there was just one freezer.
Yeah.
Now you go to an office building, they have...
But I like how you said it was like a Philly cheesesteak, so it didn't belong to anybody. Yeah, it fucking belonged to somebody, whoever put it in the refrigerator.
But listen...
Do you know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, he was like, they bought it at a store. So
Yeah, so I guess it's for everybody.
I thought, since if I would have took it out and it would have been in a container, I would have go, oh, this is
Oh, you mean like a
somebody
Tupperware?
Yeah, this is from somebody's house. But when I saw it in the thing, I go, you never know. Maybe the people
Maybe this is for
deliver-
everybody.
This is for everybody.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I was hungry in those days. I ate that sandwich in 2 bites. It was delicious. And after that, we kind of became friends, and I would bust his balls about that from time to time.
Did you ever tell him it was you?
No, but I would like torment them. Psst, come here.
You love that shit.
I got my eye on up there because somebody took my motherfucking sandwich. I'm telling you, dog. There's a thief in this motherfucker. I know how to give air to those
Oh,
situations.
you love that
I
shit.
love to fan those fires.
Yeah.
Look at one of them right now who are like sitting there going, I'm putting away money to move to Montana or California or back to Jersey or New York. And you're always a little scared. And these stories I'm telling you right now about Colorado in '83, that was the first time I was ever out of New York City.
Yeah.
That was the first time I was ever not in Miami. I was in another state by myself. I had a roommate, but he was struggling just like me. It's not like I couldn't
Right.
be late with the rent there. Do you understand me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You're saying take the chance, move out.
no. But it
Or-
was amazing. Like walking home in those days in November. And in Colorado, if you lived in those places at night, all you smell is wood burning.
Oh yes.
And you can hear it crackling.
Right.
And you can hear it, and it's cold, but not really. And it's real quiet and serene. And I would be walking in that parking lot, like walking and doing what a 21-year-old doing, skating
Sure,
down half of
sure.
it. And I remember going, wow, what these motherfuckers are really missing. And even though I'm by myself, look at what I'm doing by myself.
I agree.
That's the most important thing that people are always scared of. They don't know if they're going to... That satisfaction of having that closet with that fan, you're eating what you want, you're driving Lyft,
Yep.
you
Whatever
know,
it
and
is
you're trying to put it together just to prove to yourself.
that you can.
And there's one night where you'll be there with crackers, you have the computer on watching Game of Thrones, and you'll have crackers, and you'll have a can of sausages, and a Coke one, and you'll sit there, and you'll go, how fucking lucky am I?
Yep.
I'm in Sacramento, I'm in
Wherever.
Los Angeles, living my dream. I might be broke, but for tonight, I'm
This is
good.
it. Yeah.
I'm good. I'm not home. I'm out of that bar. I'm out of that environment. I'm out of that. That's what that part of my life always was. I was ashamed how it ended. They caught me robbing. I planned a jewelry heist. They already knew I was burglarizing these places. I was in deep. They knew,
Right.
but they didn't know. I acted like I didn't do coke. That was my cover.
Isn't that every cokehead's cover?
No. At this time, I was doing
They
that
always
cover.
pretend like they don't do it.
At this time, I was doing it to steal.
Got
So
it.
the finger can never be torn to me. Why would he steal? He don't even do coke. Look at the size of him. He lifts weights and hits a bag every fucking day. He does push-ups in between outside like an idiot. I played the pothead.
Got it.
You follow me? And then
The pothead never.
And they would snort coke around me, and then they talk, and we go back into their house, and they play darts. All of a sudden, the guy would come out of the back room with a kilo of coke, and I go, here we go. We got a pigeon. And there we go. Pilot the bombardier. And I give him, like, right away. With those guys, you just put them on a hook. You just got one guy. Eventually, you're going to throw him in there. You just got to work him and see what's going on. The woman in the house, who his roommate is. I knew the roommate. The guy worked in a fucking golf court that went away for in the daytime. And this guy skied. The apartment's wide open. And the coke is in the bedroom somewhere, or in that closet in the hallway there. And I got 5 minutes. But there's a fucking sliding window in the living room. So when I come in the place, I'm going to open up the sliding window. I'm going to leave it open just so I have the option to walk out the sliding window if they come to the front door.
Okay.
So I would always open up my path out before I'd even go for the loot. I'd go for the loot. I'd find the loot. I'd lock the door how it was, and I'd go out the back door. I'd look, boom, and I'd walk out the back door, and I may believe I was looking at birds. Oh, my God, it's a silver-bellied blue chip from Canada.
Did you learn that door trick the hard way? Like, that seems like something that you might have to learn when you get trapped somewhere.
I was really good at it because all the condos were made the same. From building A to building M, they were all the same cut. If I could break into one door, I could break into all of them. My buddy was an engineer, and he made the clips to bust into all the doors. But my kooky, listen, I'm not the smartest dude in the world. So one night, there's new people live upstairs, and they're talking about drugs all the time, and I don't really befriend them. I just hear them chatter at parties, how much blow they do. So I watch them one night. Again, I go into the fucking front door, lock the door, the lights are out. I go in the back, but again, it's snowing out. So I get to the back door, and I slide open the sliding door, and I fucking go to the back, and boom, there's the blow. I see the lights pull up. I close the door, boom, boom. I lock the front door. I go to the fucking back. As I'm running out, boom, I left the screen door up, the one with the flies, so the flies won't come in. And I landed right in the fucking grass. And I just closed the sliding door, and they were right there. And I fucking ran. It wasn't fresh snow, thank God. That's what saved me.
Yeah.
It was old snow, so I didn't leave. I just ran. I ran into like the water. I ran across, and I went to the Crestwood where I used to work, and I saw my friend Carl, and I gave him the Coke, and I changed shirts, and then he gave me a ride to my house like nothing happened. And the next day there was chitter-chatter. Somebody around my house for 8 ounces of blow.
That's terrible. Did you help him look for it?
Oh, yeah. You should have seen me out there putting out posters and
Yeah,
stuff.
your dog with you.
It was fucking crazy, Lee. I was 19 years old, Lee, doing this kind of shit.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking crazy.
Retarded.
Just making, like, that's the thing. It's not like you were in Jersey where you had friends and you could come up with schemes. You were out there by
in
yourself.
a foreign place, yeah.
Just like
Oh, my God.
getting stoned
Yeah.
and thinking of weird criminal shit you could do.
Okay, so now I go back to fucking New Jersey.
Oh my God.
I end up living in a playground. I don't do blow for
From
6
Denver
months.
back to Jersey.
I go back to Jersey. I fuck up completely. I live in Jersey till 85, and I moved to Boulder. I got a little loot put away. But, bro, I was a fucking dirty thief. I got 10 G's in the bank. I got 6 grand in my pocket. It's a Sunday night. I'm walking on the Pearl Street Mall. There's one of those cookie houses where they make, this is Paul's Cookies. They had to lift the window open. It's Sunday.
Hey, that's their fault.
It's Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
Can't
There's
leave
money
the
in that
window
hut.
You're stealing Mrs. Paul's cookie money?
One of those cookies. I didn't say no names. No names, fucko. No names. You understand me? I fucking jumped in there. There it was in the register. I just plugged the register in, pressed open. $9,000, $900 in cookie money.
He had open. That just says what year it
No,
was.
dog. I was such a bad thief. I used to unplug the register and take it with me because sometimes I was
You
so
didn't know how
retarded I couldn't even open the fucking register. So I would have to go to the car, open up the back door, leave the trunk open, and go out there with the whole register and take it to go. I did not know about the take it to go scheme.
What are you talking about? Where would you hide the register on your way out?
I would fucking put it in the trunk of a car and go.
No,
Step
I'm
on
talking
it.
about when you're running through the mall with the register in your hand.
No, I wouldn't be running to the mall with register. The business would be locked. It'd be like an independent business. I go in there, you know.
Oh, okay, I thought you were
The
in the middle of the
register,
mall. Like,
they turn the electricity
You
off.
can't hold a register
They
like
turn
that.
they turn the electricity off, so you can't open up the register. So you got to unplug the fucking thing and pick it up, and you got to bring pliers. Sometimes you got to bring cutters with you with gloves. I always had gloves on because you might have to cut it because they hide the plug underneath, like they build around it. You know what I'm
Sure,
saying?
you drill holes to go underneath.
I must have taken 15 registers in my day. And then,
Hysterical.
and I knew nothing about it, but this dude named Tom Panesi, God bless his soul, he told me he had a missing eye. He was a Westie, one-eyed Westie. The guy used to get me jobs, and I was like 18 to case joints. And he used to tell me how to steal and shit. He used to tell me how to take care of an ingrown toenail in prison and shit. I mean, this dude was the best. I loved Tom.
He had all the answers.
how do you get a job chasing joints?
You
Can we
just-
talk about that for a second?
How do you get what?
A job.
Casing joints.
That's a big job.
That's a big
Lee.
job.
Yeah.
That's a big job. I had a dude once, a guy that paid me to just stand by the wall.
What do you do? I
Like
case
just
joints.
stand by the
Case a
wall.
joint,
$10 an
yeah.
hour, just stand there from 6 to 12.
And then, but you got to
go
document.
nowhere.
It's not easy work.
Fucking hilariously. The guy's name was Mr. Boji. And he used to hire me like 3 nights a week to stand by the brick wall. Don't move. I'll bring you a sandwich in 2 hours.
I'm surprised you ever left. That seems like you're the perfect gig.
And he used to tell me, one of these days I'm going to get you a job, $12.15 an hour, sweeping a roof. You know what I'm saying? That used to be the job you wanted. Come on, Mr. T, get me a job sweeping the roof, $12.15 an hour.
Yeah.
What do? You just sweep all day. Just sweep the roof every day. It's 8 hours a day. Just sweep the same roof. It's going to be all right.
It's gonna be all right. And then what? And then just watch everything. Just be like,
Nobody sweeps a roof. It's a no-show job, Lee.
No.
oh, I don't.
That's what it's called. The sweeping the roof. I need a job sweeping the roof.
Yeah, Eleanor, you knew that, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
That's fucking crazy. I got involved with. Well, they were my neighborhood friends. It was like Sabatino, Carlos Perez.
Chicha Bastich.
No, Chicha Bastich was a Kennedy school guy. This was the Giving Out Terrace crew. It was in those days. It was Carlos Perez, me, Sabatino, Dominic Special, God bless his soul. A couple other kids I may forget. There was a soccer field. It's called Schutzen Park,
Schutzen.
right in Union City. It's been there since fucking before Hitler. And it's a German place that serves German food, but they also cater it out. You can have parties there.
Oh, yeah?
So they have all the political parties there. When we were kids, they practiced baseball back there. North Bergen had the rights to practice Little League baseball back there. And there was a soccer field back there. So on the weekends, the German soccer team would play back there and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And it was basically, it had stands.
Yeah.
I don't know what you could fit in there. I don't know, 2,000, 3,000.
It's a park.
But it was covered by this tin thing.
Oh, it was covered. Oh, okay.
It was covered by this tin roof. And for years, starting, I mean, I remember going up there when I was like 10 and hitting balls with the Todd brothers. By the way, one of them just died, the Jeff Todd and Rich Todd and Vanacek. And we'd go up there on our own and play ball.
Right.
But there was a guy back there. His name was the Butcher. And if he caught you back there, he'd chase you with a knife and a German Shepherd.
Oh, shepherds with a dog back then.
But the beautiful of it, we used to go up there and ride the motorcycles, and that would really drive him crazy. He would chase you and say all those Zig Heil words and shit.
Right.
But we figured out, one day somebody told me, when my mother first died, I had all these different friends, and I had good people in my life. But I had this one particular kid, Mike Denny. Everybody called him the devil. Like, people would go, he's the devil. I took a liking to Mike Denny. Mike Denny was a short wrestler. I went to Lehigh.
Lehigh, yeah.
And, but he just had him, you know, he was one of those guys that every time you did something with him,
Your trouble.
you came up short.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
you're not going to believe what
I know,
happened. The guy
fuck,
gave me
I
300
can't
instead
stand
of
it.
5.
Yeah.
And I tolerated it for about a year, and I lost him as a friend.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, he was a money-making machine. When it came to make money at night, the problem with him was he robbed all the wrong people. His father owned a ship refurbishing company. So when a ship lands in Newark or in Hoboken in those
ports,
days, after 6 months at sea,
Right.
they come in, weld off all the barnacles, repaint
It's a
it.
big job.
They do, and they get
big
year
company.
contracts.
Yeah, it's a big job.
Well,
Big
he would go back at night and steal the hulls.
Oh, Christ.
And steal the fucking shit that belonged to the ship. The new and he was just a
That's
fucking
crazy.
moron.
That's crazy.
But I'm snorting coke with him.
Yeah.
Listen to Aerosmith, Get Your Wings, and an
right.
RX-7. He's got to be 20, and I'm 16.
Right.
And that little crew, we put together, one day somebody mentioned that tin above the soccer field, that you could sell it.
It's worth something. Yeah, like copper.
Like copper.
Copper wiring.
Listen,
Oh,
everybody in my neighborhood got a ratchet set. And at night, before you went out, Lee, you took out your rattiest clothes, and we go up there, me and you, every night at 7 o'clock, because Butcher would get off. Butcher was off
he was
between
gone.
7 and 8. He took a nap. So we get up there, climb, and ratchet those things
Take big
off,
fucking panels
throw
off.
them off.
Yeah.
You had to slide off or you
Sure.
fell off. It was fucking scary. And I mean, little by little, you saw sections disappearing. Lee, it was like fucking...
What could he do?
It was like little by little, every night. And then somebody else caught on.
Yeah.
So I would steal a sheet. He would steal a sheet. And then he told his friend, and his 2 friends started stealing 2 sheets.
Yeah.
So now we almost turned into a war. Like, wait a second. This is our turf here. We've had this first. Me and the devil,
Schutzen Park is ours,
Carlos,
motherfucker. Yeah.
and Sabatino had this first. Dog, they fucking stripped every piece
Yeah.
of fucking tin. Schützen Park had to put a tarp over it, a paper
That's
tarp
great.
for the soccer
That's
games.
great.
That was a hustle for a whole fucking summer. And we were getting like $55 a thing. There was so many people I used to bring things to.
Yeah, those I don't
That
know.
would pay me
I don't know
money.
where those people are anymore.
I used to know how to have a transmission guy
Yeah.
that would give me money for sawdust
No.
because they fill the
Sure.
transmission
Yeah,
with
yeah.
sawdust.
Yeah.
Where do you get sawdust?
The
Lumberyard. It's very smart.
lumberyard. So I used to work at a lumberyard.
They don't clean up every day?
And when I got the job, the kid that had the job before me, he told me right off the bat, he goes, listen, number one, you got to steal. Because if you don't steal, they're going to know I was stealing. Number two, I have existing contracts.
Are you kidding me?
And I go, what are you talking about? He goes, on Saturdays, a guy comes in and buys 40 sheets of plywood. He'll give you $400 cash. Give me $100 from now on. And I got another guy that comes in on Thursdays and gets 20 sheet of, because marine plywood was $64 a sheet, 4x8.
Right.
He would say, and it was galvanized, so you could put it on boats.
Yeah.
So he would say, charge him 20 a sheet. I mean, there was days.
It's a lot to remember.
There was days me and 4 gorillas would load the back up, and at the end of the day, there was no sheets left. And I was a junior in high school.
Yeah.
I was robbing them blind, those poor fucking people.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there was a family at a transmission place, and they would tell me when the barrels get filled up, give us a call. So I wasn't allowed to sweep and put in the thing. I would sweep and put in barrels. And once I get 5 barrels, they give me like 100 cash, which was every week. I got 100 cash from them off the top.
great.
The job paid me $6 an hour.
Yeah, you got to make
But
a
I
living.
probably made $1,000
Yeah, you
a
gotta
week
make it.
out of that.
Right.
They had an old school register. So which meant if you spent $8, it would come up $8. But if you came in, I'd say, how you doing today? Oh, nothing. How you doing, Joey? Nice to meet you. What are you looking for? I'm redoing my basement. I need 10 sheets of 4x8 plywood at $44 a piece. 10 sheets, that's $440.
Right.
I knew that plus tax.
Right.
I would fucking do the register. I would do it on my, there was a calculator. And I mean, the register would be packed. There would be 4 salesmen at the thing. And right in front of them. They didn't know that I had loaded the sheets on. I would take the sheet and do the tax like for $440 plus tax. And instead of ringing in $488, I'd ring in $88. And the guy would give me $488, and I put $88 in the register and keep $400 and lock the register. I did this every day. Favorite scenes in any movie, because the director or whoever thought about it was so brilliant, was Godfather. Before Michael shoots the 2 guys in the restaurant, the train is stopping. You hear train screeching. You hear them stopping to pick people up. If you've ever done anything bad in your life, there's a point of the adrenaline that your ears start ringing. You have no fucking idea when your ears start ringing. When you're doing something and you're deaf from the adrenaline, that's a complete different world. When I robbed that jewelry store with Marblehead that time, when I was running up the corner, I was looking at grand larceny. I'm looking at theft. I'm looking at 1,000 things. I'm looking basically at 12 and a half fucking years. Or maybe 8 years with good behavior. But I'm looking at time. My ears were ringing when I was running. Once I got around that corner and those chains were all over the floor and stuff, and I was picking them up, I was the king of the world. That adrenaline fear should have made me get in that car and drive away. But I was till today, when I asked that fucking moron, where's the jewelry? And he goes, it fell. And I go, you fucking kidding me? And you just walked up here with this? And I went and picked up those chains. By this point, everybody was out in the street going, hey, stop those kids. Listen, a bullet wasn't going to stop me right there. Nothing was going to. I picked up those gold chains, threw them in the back of the car, got in that back seat, and we took the fuck off. We hit a right. We hit 68th Street, whatever the fuck it was. And all of a sudden, I light the trunk, because we were going to put the jewelry in the trunk. But the trunk didn't open. The trunk was jammed, so we had to put it in the back seat. The beauty of it is at the first light we stopped, there's a cop, and the trunk opens up as the cop is passing by. The cop never noticed it, and we fucking got the jewelry off. But that fear I had running around that fucking hill, when I when I got in trouble in Boulder and I kidnapped Vela. While Vela was in the apartment, when him and the biker were there, that Tidwell moron were arguing, and I left him there, when I walked into that house, that was the best adrenaline I ever had in my life.
Wow.
Because there was a guy that opened the door for you, a door guy dressed in an outfit in front of this building. Now, I had just been there an hour before to pick the victim up and to take him to the location. When my friend went over, he stopped him, whatever, and they buzzed him up. I don't know how he got up, but when I went back, from the way I slammed that door, when he saw, I'll never forget the look on his face. My body language, the adrenaline was coming out of my fucking ears. Because he didn't even say good afternoon. He didn't open the door for me. I just walked in that fucking building. I got in the elevator, I went upstairs, and I basically walked to the door and kicked it in. My ears were on fire. I mean, my body was just hot. That's a fucking great feeling when you're on fucking fire. And I kicked the door in, and they had like a ceiling, and I just jumped up and pulled it down. I pulled the whole fucking, you know those
Drop tile.
drop tile ceilings?
Yeah.
Like the coke was on one of those tiles. And I knew the tile. Guess what? I didn't have time. I just jumped up like a gorilla that I am.
Oh my God.
And pulled it, and the thing just came. It was like, it looked like 9/11.
Oh
You ever
my
see those
God.
things hanging? That's how the roof looked. Like the basement of Tower 4, whatever the fuck it was. There was beams hanging, dust everywhere. When I walked out, I had dust all over my face, my shirt. I had ripped that fucking ceiling down. I fucking picked up that coke and I went in the car. You have no idea how I felt. By the time I got out, I was already that clear because it's so funny. Lee, how you feeling, Doug?
I'm feeling fine.
You ready for another star?
Sure, but I'm just like, how did you only get caught
crazy.
once? You're
That's so
tearing
crazy.
down buildings, you're kicking down doors.
You're doing 9/11s.
Your adrenaline
Yeah.
will take you to
can't
places
sleep.
you can't think. You can't think logically. But here's the beauty of it that I've always thought about. Okay, so I parked the car facing whatever the fuck, this direction. But when I got in the car, to my right, but when I got in the car, I noticed that there was a newspaper thing. And already my head was clear. Because when I pulled out of that thing, I crossed over right onto 19th and Canyon Boulevard, and that's where the halfway house is. How much of a sign is that? And I went in, I ripped apart the 2 kilos, and I took like a fucking handful of coke out and put it in like a newspaper that I had in the car. That's how much of a primitive guy I was. I took the 2 fucking packages and I put them under a newspaper thing. So I wouldn't have them on me. You follow me?
One of those newspaper dispensers or whatever it's called in the street.
Yeah.
Not done a dispenser, but
Those little stands you get your free paper.
One of those.
Wrap it
Not
up.
a quarter paper. I
Yeah.
put it under there because I didn't want it on me if the cops pulled me over. And that fucking guy at the door didn't even look at me on the way out. Didn't say thank you for coming, thank you for shopping here. Nothing. Not zero respect, Troy Conrad.
Jesus. Now, will you do something like that with that level of adrenaline? You go home. How long before you can sleep? Because that shit stays in your
Oh
system
no, I wasn't going to sleep that
forever.
night. I had a handful of coke.
Oh,
Between
right.
the adrenaline and the blow,
Oh, yeah.
it was. They call it adrenaline dump. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. When it's you get it all out, and then it just brings you down. But coke would bring you right back.
Yeah.
So yeah, the adrenaline dump is when you get it all out. It's just like and then you get home and it starts to wear off, and it's like it goes really low, right?
And that's when the soreness comes in.
Yeah.
That's when you realize, fuck, I dropped the glove in front of Cato's room.
Because you
Damn,
don't notice the glove when
No,
there's adrenaline.
none of
That's
that
why that
shit.
happened. Yeah.
That's why the knife slips. And
Yeah.
it cuts your fingers.
Yeah.
You know, when I was running from the cops and that dog, I ripped my hand open. I got caught on the barbed wire. I had to untake the glove from my skin. No, that binga. You have no idea. In today's modern world, I would have passed out. But the adrenaline
Right.
kept me going. I didn't even think of my hand bleeding. No fainting. In fact, I went home and left the glove on. I said, why fuck with it? Let me go to the bar with the glove on. The glove was filled with blood.
Oh, gee.